Good morning, ladies. I hope you're doing awesome. So, today we are doing dare number 6, the respect dare. 40 days to a deeper connection with God and with your husband. And dare number 6 is called random acts. All right, so the verse for today is do everything without complaining or arguing. And she tells a story of this woman who went to the dry cleaner, who picked up her husband's shirt, who went out of her way, who got extra traffic coming home, who, like took the shirt out of the dry cleaner's hanger, out of the plastic and put it on a regular hanger, hang it on his closet. I mean, it seems simple, but to her, it was something that she went out of her way to do, right? To serve her husband and to show him respect, really, right? And he didn't notice. I mean, let me rephrase that. He did notice, but he didn't say anything, right? And because he didn't say anything, she felt that he was being ungrateful, right? Like she felt bad. She felt resentful, I think is the word, because he didn't say anything. And how often is that true for us? Like we do things, but we expect that the things that we do for them are noticed. We expect them to say something. We expect them to thank us and to do something kind in return too. And I was thinking about it as I was reading it. Isn't that very selfish, Because if we are doing it expecting something in return, aren't we doing it for ourselves, right? It's not even about them, it's about us, right? It's about us being recognized for how awesome we're being in respecting them, in showing love to them, right? I was reflecting on that this morning, and also another thing that caught my attention. What is our husband's love language? The author doesn't talk about it, but it came to my mind. What is our husband's love language? Because sometimes we are speaking acts of service, but their language is words of affirmation, right? And so the resentfulness that come out of our mouth, like we saw yesterday, right? Our mouth speaks what our heart is full of. So the resentment that's coming out of our mouth, because that's what's in our heart, is being more hurtful to them than all the acts of kindness that we did in putting their laundry away, right? So I think it's important that we know each other's love language. I'm gonna look for the link for the love language quiz, and I'll include it on the video in case you want to take it and you want your husband to take too, because I think that's so important. The more we are able to speak all love languages, and we are able to receive love in all love languages, right? But we have to train ourselves for that, and there is always one love language that's dear to our heart, that's the one we receive the most. So I think it's important that we know that about our husbands, and that we speak to them in that language. So anyways, that's that. And then she goes on about saying about how her acting that way was actually immature. And it's beautiful that she recognized it, because a lot of times we put excuses to cover our immaturity, instead of simply admitting, like, okay, that was immature, let me go do something different instead, right? And she also remembered who she was serving. Carol thought of how Jesus poured his love on people who were considered totally unloved in that culture. And a lot of times he got nothing in return, not even a thank you. When he healed those 10 guys, only one came back to say thank you. The other 9 is like it went right over their head, and still they're walking in healing. So when we do things for others, do we really do them for others? Do we really do them as onto Jesus, or are we doing it for ourselves, to make ourselves feel better and more mature and wow, I'm such a great wife, about who we are, right? So that's what spoke to me today. And then on what about you, on the questions, I have to admit that a lot of times I do things for my husband. I do a lot for him, right? But a lot of times I expect his kindness in return, especially when it's something that I'm not a big fan of doing. Right? Like, I don't mind putting his laundry away. I don't mind putting the clothes away because I do that anyways. Like it's okay. But when I cook a meal, which I don't like to cook, but when I cook a meal and I go out of my way to make things that he likes and he doesn't eat or he leaves without eating, like that upsets me. I'm like, hello, like I wasted all this time cooking for you. If it was up to me, I would have just done whatever, a sandwich, right? But no, like, if I'm doing that for him, right? If I'm doing that for him as unto God, then why should I care, right? Why should I care whether he even noticed or not, And again, that's not his love language, His love language is different. So anyways, that was what I took from today. And then after the questions, it says true respect also means taking care of things that your spouse deems important to him. Today, while continuing to be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry, do one act of kindness or assure for your husband that you would deem important to him. So I encourage you to do that besides your questions for today. Okay, so what is it that you're gonna do for your husband today, expecting nothing in return, not even a thank you? And what is it that is going to happen when he doesn't meet the expectations that you had before? Because one thing is for us to say, okay, I'm going to do this and I'm not going to expect anything in return. Another thing is for us to truly not expect anything in return, right? So anyways, that is our challenge for today. I got mine. And I will see you tomorrow.